Hey, what's going on, y'all? I had made a previous video talking about my personal experience quitting kratom, and in this video, I wanted to talk about my motivation for quitting kratom and perhaps some words of advice that might help you out. So, when I initially started taking it, I took it for anxiety, for depression, and almost like a social lubricant, kind of like alcohol. I would take it before concerts, I would take it before dates, I would take it before work. Eventually, it led to me taking it all the time. At a certain point, the side effects got really, really bad, and I had to get off of that shit. In my previous video, I talked more in detail about why I got off that shit. But in this video, I want to talk about the mindset for quitting kratom. So you're watching this video right now because you think you might have a problem, you might be noticing some side effects, and maybe you're noticing that it's not working the same way that it used to. As time went on, as I kept taking kratom, I started feeling like I was a zombie, like I basically couldn't function like a normal human being, and just the side effects piled up way too high. And I'm sure a lot of you watching this are feeling that too. Chances are, if you're watching this video right now, you're probably going through kratom withdrawal, and that shit is not fun. Despite what people say on the internet, this stuff can be really rough. So many naysayers out there will deny that kratom withdrawal is a real thing. They'll say that it's not as real or as big a deal as opiate withdrawal. That's total fucking bullshit. I've been through opiate withdrawal, and honestly, some of the mental anguish and side effects that I've experienced from kratom is actually worse than opiate withdrawal. My main words of advice right now is embrace the suckage that is going on right now. Chances are you feel like shit every day. When I was going through withdrawal, it was a struggle to just like make it through the day without feeling like I was going to kirk out on someone, or just there was times where I felt like I was going to be hospitalized because I was having panic attacks all the time, and it wasn't fun. So all these shitty feelings that you're feeling right now, know that this is what's going to happen if you continue to take kratom. So it already got you here already from your use, and it's going to cycle back to that. So if you have an addictive personality and you got addicted to kratom, it's just going to happen again. Like, you're not going to be able to pick it up and be like, oh, well, I'm just going to do it this one time. Like, no, you're going to feel that pull to do it again. I kind of relate it to alcoholism. It's the same kind of addiction where generally if you have a problem maintaining like a usual amount that you take, you're gonna struggle with this shit. One of the main things that helped me out the most was changing my perspective, and you should change your perspective too. So when we started out, we looked at kratom as a beneficial thing, that hey, this put a little more skip in my step, it made me less depressed, it made me more at ease. But look where it got you. How are you feeling right now? Why are you watching this video? Does kratom seem to work for you right now? Chances are no. So if it's not working for you now, it's not going to work for you later. It's like, for me, I kind of look at it as like a little kid touching the stove, like learning that you get burnt when you touch this. So every time I relapsed and I did kratom again, it always led to that cycle of addiction again and that cycle of desperation. And it's a horrible place to be. I was in that place for a couple years actually, and I felt like I was losing my mind. Now I've got almost 11 months of sobriety right now, and I feel like $1,000,000. Like, my confidence is back, my sex drive is back, I'm saving money, I'm not spending money every day, like feeling like a desperate junkie, just trying to get my fix so I can feel normal. Fuck that life. There were so many times where I'd be going on vacation or I'd be going to a friend's house and I'd have to worry about my next dose. Like every 4 to 6 hours, I'd need another dose or else I'd get angry. And at the end of the day, it's just a really shitty way to live. I hated feeling like a desperate shell of a person, and I just wasn't my best self. I wasn't even close to it. I was barely keeping my head above water, and I felt like I was just gonna lose my shit every day. And it was just a really sad way to live my life. And I'm so glad I'm out of that shit. And you might be feeling that way right now, and you can do it too, but you really need to change your perspective, and you're going to need discipline. Tough love isn't a very popular thing nowadays, but no one's going to help you get off of this shit but you. There's tools and resources out there that will help, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to you to quit this shit. So you need to look at this shit as fucking poison. You also can't have any reservations about quitting. Like, you can't, because that's gonna just lead to a relapse. And then once you relapse, then that awful cycle addiction just starts all over again. So you're gonna need to be persistent and dedicated. One of the main things with quitting this stuff requires a lot of patience as well. You're not gonna feel better overnight. It actually took me a good month to 2 months to feel like I was slowly getting back to normal. So there is pause post-acute withdrawal syndrome with this stuff. So as you come off, like each day, I noticed like after the first couple weeks, I started actually feeling a little bit better. But after that, each day, it kind of compounds. Like, you slowly feel more and more like your old self. So you're gonna need to stick with this, and you're gonna need to stay strong. There was a lot of times where I would drive by to work in the morning, and I would see where I would normally pick up my kratom every morning before work, and I needed that discipline to drive by and be like, nope, I'm not picking it up today. Like, not today, Satan. Like, that shit's not gonna happen. So you're gonna need to like completely look at kratom as evil. This is what's holding you back in life. You know, you're watching this shit for a reason. So please, like, for your own sanity and for your own sake, get off of this shit. One of the best things I can suggest while going through pause and going through withdrawal in general is exercise. So even if you don't have a gym membership, get out there, go for a jog, jump rope, you know, just get a good sweat going, and that's going to help your endorphins feel better. I would suggest trying to eat healthy, have a good diet, just try to take extra care of yourself, because you're going to be feeling like shit coming off of this stuff, and you want to just take care of yourself in every single way that you can to possibly feel better. So like I said earlier, the two lessons I want to like make sure that you know in this is embrace the suckage and change your perspective. So even though you're feeling horrible right now, like, remember that. Remember this, because there's going to be a couple months down the road from right now where you're going to feel like picking up is a good idea, and you're going to be tempted. And I've relapsed maybe a dozen to 24 times in the beginning when I first tried to quit, and it may happen to you. So it's best to avoid all that, because you're just going to prolong your suffering and you're going to feel miserable. One thing I would recommend is that there's a lot of quit groups out there. Some of them are on Reddit, some of them are on Facebook. I'm going to leave a link down below to Quitting Kratom and Addiction Support. It's a Facebook group. It's filled with about 5,000 people who are all trying to kick this stuff, and they're a very supportive and awesome group. So be sure to join them and click on that link down below, and you'll find a lot of help. And post on there, read on there. There's good stuff on there every day, and I highly recommend it. Eventually, I'll probably make some more videos about this subject. I just like keeping the videos short, so I just wanted to talk a little bit more about my experience and why I quit and what kind of helped me get through it. My main goal is I just don't want to see people relapsing and just suffering nonstop like I did. You know, I had to learn the lesson the hard way, and it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of effort to get off of this shit. So if you're kicking this stuff and you're working at it and you're tapering, like, I'm proud of you. Stick with this shit. It's completely worth it. Because if you ever want to feel normal, or like a sense of being back to normal, quitting is the only way that it's going to happen. All that horribleness that's going on right now, it's because you're still taking this stuff, or you're still tapering this stuff. You're only going to feel back to normal once this shit is completely out of your system. And if you're watching videos like this and you're participating, you're on the right path. You know, just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep on it. So hope you all get off of this stuff. Take it easy.